Sunny afternoon in Wineville, March 10, 1928. A 9-year-old boy named Walter Collins vanished while playing near his home in Los Angeles. Walter's mother, Christine, came back from working as a telephone operator. She realized that Walter was gone and immediately contacted the police. Police at first thought that the boy's missing was connected with the boy's father, who was locked up in Folsom Prison, but that was not the case. The disappearance received nationwide attention and thousands were involved in the search, while the LAPD faced negative publicity and increasing public pressure to solve the case. Countless tips on Walter's location led to dead ends. He was allegedly spotted as far north as San Francisco and Oakland. One reported sighting was at a Glendale gas station in the backseat of a car, wrapped in newspaper with only his head showing. The station owner described the driver as a foreign-looking man, probably an Italian, accompanied by a woman, which also was not the case. After around 5 months of disappearance, they finally found the boy in DeKalb, Illinois. He apparently turned himself into Illinois authorities, and Christine Collins paid $70 in travel expenses so the boy could return to Los Angeles. Except that the boy was not Walter. The runaway boy Arthur Hutchins Jr. from Illinois and originally from Iowa posed as the missing Walter Collins to get a free trip to California to meet his favorite movie star, Tom Mix. He got the idea at an Illinois roadside cafe after a diner told him how much he resembled the kidnapped boy from Los Angeles, whose picture had appeared in newspaper nationwide. When he arrived, however, Collins said that although he resembled Walter, the boy was not her son. The Los Angeles Police Department, under terrific pressure to declare the case happily closed, refused to believe that the boy wasn't Walter, whatever the mother said. Emotionally drained, Collins agreed to the cop's suggestion that she should try the boy out and took him into her home. The boy regularly called her Ma, whereas Walter called her mother. Walter's teacher at the school also agreed that it was not him. And after 3 weeks, she returned to the police with proof, including dental records, that the boy was not her son, Walter. However, by then, the police had considered the case closed, and the officer in charge, Captain J.J. Jones, tried to convince Christine Collins that Hutchins was indeed her son. What are you trying to do? Make fools out of us all? Or are you trying to shirk your duty as a mother and have the state provide for your son? You are the most cruel-hearted woman I've ever known. "You're a fool," Jones allegedly told Collins. When she again refused, she was admitted against her will to the psychiatric ward at Los Angeles County General Hospital under a Code 12 internment, a term used to jail or commit someone who was deemed difficult or an inconvenience. As a result of her efforts, Code 12 no longer exists. 10 days later, the boy from Illinois confessed that he actually was 12-year-old Arthur Hutchins of Iowa. After his mother died, he had gone to live an isolated new life with his goldfish of a father and a malicious stepmother, he said. He ran away, hitchhiking around the country and working odd jobs. Christine was released, and with the help of a local priest, she filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Police Department and won the lawsuit against Jones and was awarded $10,800. However, Jones never paid the amount to Collins, but that did not upset her. In fact, there was more heartache and trouble to come. Walter was not the only one to vanish during this time. Also missing were 12-year-old Louis Winslow and his 10-year-old brother Nelson Winslow, who disappeared after visiting the Pomona Valley Model Airplane and Yacht Club. Eventually, on September 19, 1928, the police arrested the culprit. 23-year-old Gordon Stewart Northcott from Canada. Northcott was found guilty of abducting and killing 3 boys with the help of his mother, Sarah Louise, and his nephew, Sanford, in what became known as the Wineville Chicken Coop murders. After 27 days of trial on February 7, 1929, Northcott was convicted of killing Walter Collins, Louis and Nelson Winslow, and a Hispanic teen, Elvin Gutierrez, and was eventually given death sentence. Thousands outraged Angelenos packed the council chambers in the newly opened City Hall to hear Davis and Jones testifying their defense against Collins' allegations before the city's Health and Welfare Committee. The crowd was in an uproar. Broken microphones prohibited them from clearly hearing all of the witnesses. Bystanders kept yelling louder, louder, as the family dentist testified that the real Walter had several fillings and the boy claiming to be Walter had never seen a dentist in his life. In addition, Collins told her story to the police commission, which refused to discipline Jones and a grand jury before finally going to court. In the meantime, the complaint against the city and police chief was dismissed and Jones was suspended, but that did not stop Collins from going after him. He was reinstated in the LAPD but claimed to be constantly broke. Nevertheless, Collins remained a constant thorn on his side, summoning him back to court every few years to explain his failure to pay and to have more interest tacked onto something she would never see. Continuing her search and never giving up hope, Collins became the first woman in more than 3 decades to receive permission to visit a serial killer on the eve of his execution at San Quentin. In October of 1930, Northcott sent her a telegram saying he had lied when he denied that Walter was among his victims. He promised to tell the truth if she came in prison to hear, but upon her arrival, he balked. "I don't want to see you," he said when she confronted him. "I don't know anything about it. I'm innocent." Northcott's final words were, "Pray for me." 5 years after Northcott's execution, one of the other boys he was accused of killing was found alive and well. He said that he didn't know Northcott was long gone and was afraid that if he came out earlier, Northcott would get him again. After some questioning in the police, the boy said that Walter was in the farm with the rest of the boys. He claimed that one night they cut the cords from a chicken coop and everyone got away. When the boy being investigated said that he got stuck and called for help. Walter came back for him and helped, but he couldn't remember if Walter got away or not, because everyone ran in different direction. Yelling woke up Northcott, who raised the alarm and started shooting. Collins refused to believe her son was dead once again, especially because her son's body was never found on the Northcott's chicken ranch in Wineville. This tiny bit of news gave Collins the hope she needed, and she never stopped searching for the rest of her life until she passed away in 1964. Gordon's mother, Sarah Louise Northcott, served 12 years of her sentence and paroled in 1940. She died in 1944. His nephew, Sanford Weasley Northcott, served 23 months at Whittier State School. He made his way back to Canada and tried to forget the terrible events on his uncle's chicken ranch. He worked hard and became an upstanding citizen who adopted 2 sons and refused to be defined as a criminal. If any good came from these crimes, it surely is that Sanford, a victim as much as the children who died, triumphed over evil. Sanford passed away in 1991 after 55 years of marriage at the age of 78. The town of Wineville wished to distance itself from the sensational crimes. In 1930, Wineville became what is now Mira Loma, California, which means view from the hill in Spanish. It remains a mystery to this day whether Christine Collins was ever reunited with her son Walter, but sadly the most likely answer is no. There were some alleged sightings of Walter and clues that he was still alive, but everything led to a dead end. If Walter was still somehow alive to this day, he would be 100 years old. The horrors of the Wineville chicken coop murders were introduced again in 2008 when the Clint Eastwood film Changeling was released. The story reflects Christine Collins' attempts to recover her son Walter. The Changeling showed Christine Collins' perseverance to overcome the unjust law enforcement system and to learn the truth about her son. And we've come to an end. If you enjoyed this video, please give us thumbs up since it helps us a lot and it takes you only a second. Also feel free to subscribe if you wanna stay tuned for more similar upcoming content. Cheers!